Have you guys ever heard of the effects of climate change since 2018?
No, I guess we couldn't.
That sounds like the scariest story we've ever told here.
Do I have to talk to you through the glass, or
you just talk and she hears?
Just talk, she hears you. Why can't you understand this? Why do you question everything? How do you hang out with this guy?
I just wanted to make sure. I'm sorry.
He's like he's the lovable, savant.
Don't say it.
I'm sorry I asked. How rude.
It was no secret that the effects of global warming that we're seeing today in 2218 were set in motion long before we had any capacity to stop what's happening. In your time, 200 years ago, you were beginning to see increasing intensity of storms, heat waves, droughts, and floods. All statistical data collected since suggests that it was already too late then. You idiots.
Yeah, that seems
that's
right.
Us.
Yeah,
that's definitely us.
Math checks out.
The CO2 concentration and diminishing polar ice fields created a chain reaction that hastened the death of an already sick planet. By 2150, ocean drone data collected suggested that nearly 70% of ocean life has gone extinct, along with 100% of all coral reef.
Ugh,
Jesus Christ.
That's not good.
100% of coral reefs?
100.
They were like all pretty and like
extra.
Little,
and now they're 100% dead.
This I've never heard a coral reef described like
bones.
Yeah, the future kind of sucks.
Bones and butt skin.
What?
Why only butt skin?
That's the toughest part of the skin. That's the only part that's going to be left over. Skeletons and butt skin.
My heels are pretty gross. This represents one of the last ecological reports circulated on the mental net before the Red Blue Corporation seized the network. Your old friend Mandaddy will tell you more of that later. For now, you need to know what's going on outside before you can hope to get back to your time.
We're in the future. Did you have to call me old?
It's even more relevant now. You're even older.
It's a little on the nose.
Damn. Yeah, that's rough.
It's just an old apostrophe, like your old friend, like folksy.
It's almost more pointed now.
The acidifying ocean has risen over 20 feet and completely changed the landscape of the world. Like Kevin Costner.
Mm-hmm.
The San Andreas Fault cracked and caused a 17.0 magnitude earthquake, which crumbled most of the mid-Southern California coastal communities. Great alliteration there.
Yeah.
Right?
It's delicious.
The Tool was really happy when that happened.
The earthquake caused several 10.0 plus seismic events throughout the Pacific Ocean, culminating in the twin mega tsunamis that washed over what was previously the Korean Peninsula.
Amazing.
Damn.
Nicknamed Jamé, the sisters, they brought with them tons of nuclear waste and enriched uranium drudged up from the wreckage of the nuclear armament sites that pockmarked the area.
Ooh.
The resulting sludge continued its push into Bohai Bay, southeast of Beijing, causing widespread outbreaks of radiation sickness, mutations, and a fast-moving corruption of organic material known as the creep.
Dude, okay, so radiation sickness is nothing to fuck around with. Like, people, like, just accidents in labs before, scientists have looked up and have looked at their auditorium of like 30 to 40 people, and they just go, get out.
Get the fuck out of here. You guys are already fucked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You're dying.
It's that fast. Like,
And so then a soup of that washes into China.
oh my God.
I've had radiation therapy. It's messed up. It's messed up.
The creep is what a horrible name
Yeah, it
to
sounds
call that,
bad.
too. It's like the hex in Ferngully.
I'll tell you right now.
call.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good reference.
Yeah, that is good. The gloop lot.
Creep has been spreading from Bohai Bay for the past 100 years, and last reports from the Red Blue Corp is that it's gotten as far as Bucharest, Romania.
Jesus Christ, that's the capital.
Not Bucharest.
All the way to Bucharest.
Damn it.
We got that report last month.
Oh, the Bucharest is gone.
Probably. I mean, I don't know how fast it moves.
If you're in Bucharest, just reach out to @FortFritz on Twitter.
Or tweet twat.
Tweet.
Sploober.
Spooper.
Sploobie, bruh.
Splooed me one time.
Some theorize that the creep is a sentient soup made of the millions of creatures it's consumed.
The millions of teenagers who have just fucking whacked one off into a sink.
Into the ocean. What?
Coming home to roost,
Says-
baby.
My God.
Becoming one.
It's as not special as that.
This one giant rage splooge monster. It's just,
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No wonder
thank
it's
you.
so aggressive.
Yep.
I was not meant to be.
Oh, why am I laughing?
Seeking only to expand and add.
Right back in.
You know, what are you going to do? Just go right in.
Yep.
Seeking only to expand and add to the colony. Similar to the way a fungal network communicates with itself and its satellite spores. We've sent some Angelas out as close to ground zero as possible, and none have returned.
Oh my god.
Damn.
You just sacrifice the angels like that? You send them out?
They got plenty.
Yeah, probably too many.
Science. Creep contributed to most of the resulting population loss across Africa, Asia, and Europe. In addition to all farmable land disappearing, the mass migration of refugees moving west to escape the creep caused a terrible loss of life to those not prepared to make the journey. Many chose to stay and accept their fate. All accounts confirm that within minutes of exposure, the creep spore can generate millions of fungal threads or latches in the body that spread rapidly through organic material, turning the host into network of rope-like tubes emitting their own spores and ground spread.
So it's kind of like Last of Us. One of the best video games ever made.
Really?
Okay.
It's a PlayStation. Oh, well.
Yep.
Creep hosts are always seen moving slowly back toward the line of creep, as if compelled by some unknown command to reconvene with the hive.
Jesus.
It's like zombies.
Yeah.
But like controlled, like with a hive mind.
And as if that shit wasn't terrible enough,
Because it's awful.
as the polar ice sheets continued to disappear, a large amount of CO2 that was trapped in that ice was released, exacerbating the situation.
Oh.
Weather events continued to grow in intensity, and it seemed as if the engines of our destruction, the factories, the nuclear facilities, the cattle ranges, etc., were all being targeted by these events. The central and southwestern United States, as you know them, are completely devoid of life.
Wow.
It'd be like a gas pocket almost.
Sure, I'm just
Like
reading.
methane.
Rising temperatures caused the first 200-degree summer back in 2120. 200-degree summer.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
That's a scorcher.
We were close this summer. I think we got close. I think we
Pretty
edged
close.
to that, like 180s or 170 or something.
Yeah, but like still 95 degrees away from 200.
I like that. About that.
A few years, it dipped back down into the mid-150s. Yay.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
But-
Chilly.
But our ecological...
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
Pop a hoodie on. Go for a
I saw a
jog.
dude wearing a hoodie the other day walking down the street. I'm like, are you trying to kill yourself?
Or just had drugs.
Both.
Yeah. But our last ecological reports show that there are nearly 15 years of consecutive 200-degree summers, causing most of the animals and plants in the arid regions to go extinct.
Oh.
Little desert foxes.
I know. They're so
No,
cute.
they actually did fine. Yeah, they loved their desert
Yeah.
fox. They like the heat. They're good.
We'll see.
F5 tornadoes, which Twister tells us are the worst.
Bill
F-
Paxton.
Bill
Rest in power.
Paxton.
It's 2218. He's probably not still alive.
That movie that took the whole idea of the black trucks being the bad guys to the nth level. Just here's a whole squad of black truck bad guys.
Ooh, bow, bow.
Can I be honest though? Like, okay, so B0, B1, like F0 just sounds bad. So you can say F5.
F-Zero is a
like,
good
that's
video game.
really bad.
F-Zero.
That was that spaceship.
That was F-Zero. Yeah, that was.
Points.
F5 tornadoes became a daily occurrence all throughout the Kansas, Oklahoma, and Midwest portions of North America.
Daily.
That sounds
here
bad.
comes the F5.
That sounds bad.
Many evacuated, many more died. Florida is now completely submerged in the acidic toxic soup that was the Atlantic Ocean.
Thanks, Rick Scott.
Totally his fault.
It was Bill Nelson's fault for 30 years.
I'm telling you it was. Obviously, along with Florida, your precious fort was also submerged.
No!
I was indifferent.
And perfectly and perfectly preserved and turned into the fully functional underwater research facility that you currently find yourselves in.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
All right,
neat.
well, so we're in the fort.
Okay,
Back in the
cool.
fort.
Once
So
again,
this
another
is-
room we haven't seen. Shocker. Cool.
The
weird.
time lab.
Wait, that means there's gravy water somewhere.
Well, like,
Settle down.
Future gravy water.
Chill.
Restrepo Bay is getting bigger and bigger, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, Folly Johns must be loving this.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that was Folly John's. He loves it.
she was so matter of fact about that.
So,
It
You should see him.
just sounds like I don't want to see him now.
okay.
Oh, you're gonna.
So falling junks is
And
real.
floating around in the acid suit.
So I guess that was a long way of saying you can't really go outside unless we do a bunch of stuff to prepare you because it's nothing but toxic, horrifying death ocean outside of these walls.
Oh.
Okay, well, that sounds great.
It
It's
sounds awesome.
The majority of the population still lives above ground, choosing to play the game with Red Blue Corporation instead facing this nightmare world on their own. Those of us with the means and the desire to do more than just feed our bodies to a corporation have found our way into a variety of subterranean communities. We're mostly isolated from each other, but occasionally one of the bedrock groups will hack into a Red Blue Mnet port and send us something through the comms Angela. She's the only one hooked into Mnet, so we have to keep her blindfolded and earplugged, but we didn't have the heart to cover her mouth too, so she just sits there being a sassy boots.
A sassy boots.
She's definitely, she looks pretty sassy over there. She's blindfolded, but she's definitely,
Yeah, she's really rocking the blindfold in a very sassy way.